Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
It is the Call Flow Radio Show here on WFLO AM 870. We're streaming online at WFLO.net, broadcasting live from the Francis E. Wood Studio in downtown Farmville. I'm John Staten, and to my immediate left here, the consummate co-host, Noah Massage, who takes exception to what was just said about lavender representing purity.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Explain yourself.
I agree. I think that's great. I think lavender is a very pure herb. Yes.
So you weren't questioning?
No. I was agreeing with it, John.
Oh, good.
And you thought I was questioning.
Well, you kind of threw it out there like a question.
No, I didn't mean to.
Oh.
I apologize for the confusion, John. How you doing this morning? I see you have some shenanigans planned.
No, not me.
Oh, no?
No, because I want to thank everyone that's listening, regardless of where they may be. They may be somewhere, listening. Who knows where they're at?
Oh, man, John.
I actually deleted it. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, John.
Wherever they may be listening,
yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Merry Christmas from State Prison.
Wherever the holiday.
State prison. Oh, no.
Wherever you may be.
Terrible.
Yeah. So what goes with you, Hans?
What?
It's a
saying.
Yeah, just a saying.
Go just saying. Nothing too much, John. I just made some green tea because I'm trying to limit my caffeine intake, and obviously coffee has more caffeine than green tea, so trying something different.
Guess what I had this morning?
What did you have?
Coffee.
Water. Oh, you had coffee this morning?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You missed it. Yeah, the cup is in the trash.
Yeah, you got it. Wow. Okay.
It's all Christmassy and decorated.
What made you decide that? You never
because
get
it's
coffee.
bitter cold outside,
Yeah.
and I will drink beverages like that when it's cold, like this. Just like ice cream. Ice cream in the summer, ice cream this time of year, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I eat ice cream like I'm taking it for something. Like it's a
medicine.
Like it's a doctor prescribed me to be like, hey, take this ice cream once a day. That's how I eat ice cream.
And since this is the Call Flow radio show,
people can call in.
Yeah, and what would that number be?
The number would be 434-394-0924. That's a good number to call in. Talk to me and John Staten. And
you mind repeating that?
434-394-0924.
One more time.
What? I'll let you do it this time. I know. Okay.
It's more official when I do it. 434-394-0924 if you'd like to be a part of the program.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Have you got your Christmas tree set up yet?
No.
Where do you think you're going to put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
That's a good one. Christmas vacation.
So what kind of tree do you have a fake tree or?
Yeah, of course, John. Oh. Yeah. Do you have a fake tree? Do you get a real tree? Do you not celebrate Christmas? Are you a heathen?
I'm bah humbug. No, we used to have real tree. Cedar, as a matter of fact. It was the preferred choice of tree we had for the longest time. And then as the years went on, my grandmother wasn't as comfortable with a real tree being in the house, so we went to the artificial type there for the last however so many years that was. And so I technically I have a tree up. It's a small tree. It was a gift to me, and it's not a real tree. It's based off of the Charlie Brown tree.
Charlie Brown, interesting.
Yes.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
It is very nice because there's a hidden meaning there. Behind
it's from Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Is that the hidden meaning?
Well, there's a hidden meaning in the Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't really set up a tree because I already have a fake regular tree. It's not a Christmas tree. And Jeff, my cat, loves to climb in it. He makes a little home up there, knocks it over every day. And so I was just imagining if I get a Christmas tree, it's going to be what I'm dealing with already times 2. And I can't be, I can't manage 2 trees in my home when I'm trying to
So you're not a big believer in multiple trees?
No. Well, the thing is, John. Sorry, excuse me.
I answered to anything. No, it's okay.
The thing about that, John, is I have a tree already, and my cat knocks it down.
Why does everything fall to Jeff the cat? Why are you always throwing him under the bus?
Great question. I think he's an easy target. Easy person.
Well, he can't speak for himself.
He can't speak for himself. So no, seriously though. I mean, he loves to knock over large objects, and I just feel like a Christmas tree would be a very exciting object to knock over if I was Jeff. So I don't want him to do that. And yeah. Anyways, John, how's your day going? So you got some coffee and
Got coffee, yes.
And how else is it going now?
How else it's going? It's going well.
Good.
About as well as can be expected.
Good. Got any big weekend plans?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No?
No. But,
Okay.
But the week is young, and
The week is young, John.
so I
correct?
don't know. Something could possibly pop up, and
Correct.
we'll have to plan accordingly.
That is correct.
How about you? Do you have any plans?
Do I have
foreseeable
any?
plans here in your future?
Not really. I don't have any big plans tonight. I was thinking about checking out the open mic at Three Roads. I think that's tonight.
Aha.
Might swing by and I don't.
Just to check out, or you think you're going to hop on stage?
I don't play any instruments, and I think it's an instrument only open mic.
You play like a juice harp or something.
Yeah, I can play.
Can you play the spoons?
I have an accordion that I can press buttons on, but it's not quite. It's not.
This is in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or the Swedish Alps. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Wherever you come from,
Or wherever
whatever
it
part
is.
of the planet you're
I
from.
don't- Yeah, whatever you do. But anyway, as he's sipping his beverage here.
Yep.
All right, on this day, 2000, the year 2000, Gwendolyn Brooks, a Pulitzer Prize-winning poet who spoke of and to the everyday struggles and triumphs of African Americans, died this day in Chicago. Gwendolyn Brooks. Anybody else? Anything else? Have you ever seen? Let's see what this talks about. Yeah, this movie, A Streetcar Named Desire. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, 1947, Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire premiered on Broadway, starring Jessica Tandy, Kim Hunter, and Marlon Brando. The later two appeared in the 1951 film adaptation.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah. What's your favorite Marlon Brando film, John?
Superman.
Okay. Are you joking?
No,
Is he in Superman?
he's Jor-El. He's
goodness.
his Kryptonian father.
How old was this? Is it 80s?
77, 78, something like 78. Yeah. I mean, that's an easy one for me. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like Marlon Brando. I think he's a good actor and everything. But he had the gravitas of it was him and Gene Hackman, the casting of those two people that got that film off the ground, because those were at the time probably two of the biggest names in acting at the time.
Definitely.
And so they basically paid those two actors up front to be a part of the film even before a director was on board and everything else. And so when they finally chose Richard Donner to be the director, he only had a limited amount of time with Brando and Hackman, but less time with Brando. And so he got as much out of him as he could. And the scene at the beginning of the film where they're on the Kryptonian planet, he's basically, it's sort of like a courtroom, even though it's, on a different planet. He is basically putting away these three criminals.
Yeah.
He's sort of like the judge in a way, or a prosecutor, or whatever you want to call it. And just the speech he gives in that, even though I understand that he was looking at notes, this would have been later in his career, so he probably had notes he was looking at and all that sort of stuff. But the way he gives that speech at the beginning, even as a kid, and then you got the John Williams music behind it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I just always look fondly at that. And
Wow.
And that movie, because it touches me because of my age when I saw it. I was not old enough to see it in the theaters, obviously. I would have been like 2. But they would run it religiously on ABC, and they would show an extended version of it, so it would be like a 2-night thing. That was a big deal back in those days in television, to have a movie that was long enough to run. You could run
2
nights.
Yeah.
2 nights, back to back, or however the space was in between. And so I grew up watching that. It was like a habit. And then, of course, there's the scenes at the end, that Superman has to confront, and he hears Jor-El's voice at the end, Marlon Brando's, and he defies it in a way. So basically, I'll get to the crux of it. He is told early, Clark Kent, Superman, whatever, by his father Jor-El, that he should not interfere with human history.
Oh. And then he interferes with human history.
At the end, well, because Lois is in peril, she pretty much dies, and he thinks about his Earth father, the one that discovered him, Pa Kent, which was, oh man, the name escapes me now, another famous actor, used to be in Westerns, Glenn Ford was his dad in that movie on Earth, and he died when he was a teenager. His powers were developing, but he couldn't save them, and that affected him in the film. And so he's thinking about, as he's getting ready to do something about this situation with Lois being dead, he thinks of Jor-El and the voice, you should not interfere with human history. But then the next voice is Pa Kent, Glenn Ford going, I know one thing, son, you are here for a reason.
Oh, and then
he takes off. Yeah. And the controversial ending of him spinning back in time and reversing time
to save Lois,
which was supposed to be. I could go geeky on this. I'm going to cut it short. That was supposed to be the ending of the second film, but because they had a timeline they were trying to match from Warner Brothers, they went ahead and put that as the ending to the first one. So anyway, I've bored us enough to tears.
You really did with the Superman facts, and I know you're a big fan of Superman. So,
always have been.
Yeah. Hey, do you like Star Wars at all, John?
I like the first three enough, but I'm not like one of these diehards.
Okay.
How about you? Or you don't care one way or the other? Or
I like the first the original trilogy, and that's about it. But I was going to ask you, are you going to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special?
What, are they re-airing it, or is this a new thing?
No. It's an old thing. It's like from the 80s.
Yeah.
You're familiar with it, right?
I've heard of it, and I probably maybe tried to watch it as a kid. Maybe I don't remember. So far back, but I thought that was something Lucas was not big on.
He hates that. Yeah, it's terrible.
So it's the people that own it now. They're going to re-show it.
Well, I mean, you could just find it online. I was just seeing if you were going to rewatch it for the holiday season.
No, I've looked at it since just a little bit, and I'm like, it's
pretty rough. I almost want to say that like the scenes with what is it called, the
Wookiees?
The Wookiees, thank you, John. The Wookiees, like they're talking for maybe like 10 minutes. It's like Wookiee going home to his Wookiee family, and it's just like, rah, 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 just they're making Wookiee noises, but it's not subtitled. It's just like, I think you're just supposed to kind of imagine what they're talking about, and that's in the original film. The original film does not have subtitles when the Wookiees are talking. So just imagine just watching Wookiees talk for like 10 minutes at a time. I don't know. It's pretty rough. Well, speaking of Christmas, John, do you have any like Christmas movies you watch this time of year? Like,
if I bother to sit down, or they just happen to be on TV, I might stop and watch. Christmas Vacation's always one I like. A Christmas Story with the kid with the Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life. I remember when I first watched that, I would have been I was in high school, I want to say, so it would have been in the 90s when I actually sat, and I had always heard of it, but nobody in my family really watched it, unlike the movies I just mentioned. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was always something you would watch because that would come on yearly.
Yeah. The Grinch. Obviously.
The Grinch wasn't really one of my personal favorites. I would watch it, but it was never. I liked Charlie Brown Christmas and Rudolph the best as far as kid stuff. How about you? What do you?
Oh, it's kind of the same list, but definitely A Christmas Story is big on my list. That is the go-to Christmas movie, if you ask me. Big fan of that. But no, that's cool. That's very cool.
So the Christmas Story is the one that's the one you enjoyed the most?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct. I've seen parts of Christmas Vacation, but I haven't seen the full movie.
You're robbing yourself.
I know.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Great. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've been watching it forever. I never saw it in the theater when it was actually released. I think my dad must have seen it, and then he bought the videotape, and then we've been watching it ever since. Yeah, I could quote that one to you.
Okay, try me.
What, from the very beginning?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. I've already bored people to tears. Speaking of people, I think there's some out there. 434-394. We haven't driven them away by now. 434-394-0924 if you'd like to.
Good number. Today's Tuesday. I think Henry should be calling at some point, too.
I think he tried calling earlier before we even got the show going, so hopefully he'll call back here in a little bit. I couldn't answer the phone with the intro going. I guess I could have, but he would have had to have held for a period of time, and it might have been during the actual Old Farmer's Almanac.
Ooh, gotcha.
So,
all right, John, do you do any like special things for Christmas? Do you have any like Christmas traditions that you and your family kind of hold near and dear, like things that you guys specifically do that not everybody does? You know, do you guys have like a family tradition for this time of year?
Yeah, we find this pole, and we set the pole up, and then we have the feats of strength.
Wait, are you joking?
No,
Screwing around.
What are you talking
Screwing
about?
around. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So you don't do anything special for the holidays.
The airing of grievances. Does this sound in any way familiar to you at all?
It's funny. Yeah.
What is it? You don't do anything like this? Is this just my family or
No. I mean, I get okay.
what?
Well, let me ask you this, John.
Yeah.
As far as like Christmases in your past,
Yeah.
do you have any memorable stories about the holiday season, about family getting into arguments about certain things?
I thought you were going to mention that time you wrapped up Jeff the cat and used that as a present.
I've never done that. Oh, that's
Wrapped
funny.
up her damn cat.
You didn't do that. You didn't do that at all.
That's actually audio of me doing that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that.
Do you not have any like good Christmases that you like look back on and you were like, that was a good one? Or I don't know, any funny stories that come to mind when it comes?
Funny stories?
Yeah, John. Yes.
I'm sure if I really gave it some thought.
But you're not going. You're not going to.
Well, man, the years start to kind of.
Yeah, the wean and
Yeah.
fade and yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. All
The
right.
wane, the what?
I don't. How about this day in history? I can't believe I'm even suggesting
asking
this.
for it.
I'm actually asking for it.
This is right up your alley.
Yeah.
1721, German composer Johann Sebastian Bach married his second wife, Anna Wilken, I believe, the daughter of a trumpeter
Trumpeter, yeah. Plays the trumpet.
at Weisenfels. I don't know how to say this stuff because I am not the educator in the ways of the love. That's Pepe Le Pew, in case you were wondering.
All right, and so that's okay. You got the trumpeter.
Trumpeter.
All right.
You marry the girl,
Sure. All right.
you trumpet away.
Okay. Well, you know, John,
No, I don't know. You,
I-
you tell me.
I did notice there's some events happening today,
Like, such as.
the open mic that was already previously mentioned. I'm gonna try to go to that, John. You know, you were in a band, right? For a while.
I've been in a
You were
couple
in
of
a
bands.
garage band. What's another word? Like a mediocre band? Mediocre might be good. Too good, actually.
Seeing how you've never seen or heard.
I've never seen or heard you guys, but
That's like me saying you suck as a comedian.
well, that's true though. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding, too.
You don't have to see.
But I can't say that because I've never actually seen you perform.
Yeah. You know, John, when was the last time you picked up a guitar and really just started, you know?
I usually try to pick up one when I
Riffing.
go to visit my nephew because he's got two. I gave him an electric guitar last Christmas, I think, or at least a Christmas or two ago, and my dad gave him an acoustic, a nice black acoustic.
So now he has options, basically.
So, yeah. So when I go over, I will, when he gets to playing he likes playing video games, whether it's with me or just himself. And then, so when he plays video games where it's just himself, I get a little bored, and or not really bored. Just I just see it sitting over there, and I'm just like,
Gonna riff on the guitar a little bit.
So I kind of do it to where it's just I'm tuning it for him, and
you call it tuning. What you're really doing is just playing around, just like John.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those things where initially, I am tuning it,
Okay.
and then I play it enough to make sure it's in tune, staying in tune, and I'll just I'll strum a few songs, and sometimes he'll get into it, and sometimes he looks at me like, "What are you doing?" Mm-hmm. Or he's not paying attention to me at all, whatever the case may be. So,
yeah. Well, does your nephew have any aspirations for being a musician one day?
I know he likes.
Can you see it in his eyes?
I don't know about all that. Well, he's awful young. He's 9. Yeah. I mean, most people, unless there's some sort of prodigy. Yeah. I mean, I didn't start trying really to play until I was like 13, and some people even later than that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's at the age now where when you're 9, I mean, it. Even if you have a guitar with the strings closer to the neck, it's not easy to play because you got to toughen your fingers up for it. And him being as young as
he'd be punching like a tree all day, it's like really strength.
Well, it's not a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where you have to train.
That's what I was referencing.
I know you were because I've seen that movie.
Yeah, Kickboxer.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, and so so I assume some of it's got something. That's why I got him the electric. Because it's easier to play electric guitar. At least I always thought so, because the strings are closer to the neck. Acoustic can be a little more tough to play when you're young, to toughen up your fingers and everything. He's got this thing where you can press, that his mom got him, that has like this color-coded stuff where you can hold that down. And that's hooked onto his electric right now. And so I don't mess with that one too much. But I will play the black acoustic guitar that my dad got him. It's a Yamaha, I believe. It's like a starter guitar, but it plays
great.
Good.
Yeah, Yamaha's great.
It's a pretty guitar and it plays well. So we're almost at the bottom. Of the hour.
We have one more minute, John. Anything you want to say before we get to the bottom of the hour stuff? Whether local birthdays, and do you have anything that you want to say before we get to that?
I just want to say we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Anything else you want to
No, I'm good. I'm just hanging out right here.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. John is punching away. While John punches away, I
was letting you finish what you were saying.
I had nothing to say right now, as of right now.
Which is great when you're an announcer on a radio program.
Yes.
I have nothing to say. That's a good one. It's okay.
It's a radio show. It's back and forth, but it's hard to do a back and forth when you only have fourth to look forward to.
You only have what?
Back and forth. You're only going forward. I don't know.
What are you saying?
Okay, John. All right.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to say except it's Christmas and we're all in misery.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, John. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I figured. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour now.
Thank the Lord. We made it home, John.
I like it when you get religious on me.
Yes,
all right.
Of course.
The weather is brought.
It's a part of it's somewhere deep inside me.
Very deep. Well, the weather is brought to you by Harold W. Collins and Grading, located at 2113 Cumberland Road, Farmville.
Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading has been helping to build Southside and Central Virginia since 1960, providing all excavation, general contracting, and hauling needs. 5 miles north of Farmville, 2113 Cumberland Road, at the intersection of 45 and Range Tavern Road. Call 392-6010 or stop by Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading.
And today, sunny skies. Look for a high today near 42. It's going to be clear tonight with a low around 16. Sunny Wednesday, a high near 45. Partly cloudy Wednesday night with a low around 35. Partly sunny Thursday, and then gradually becoming sunny, a high near 46. Clear Thursday night with a low around 19. As far as our what's going on right now, our humidity is 77%. Winds are calm. Barometer 30.39. Fair skies right now 22 here at WFLO AM 870. And I will do my due diligence here and see what it says on the phone as far as what we've got going on here in Farmville. And, well, you click on it and this weird thing pops up. So I don't know. Looks like it's saying, pretty close to what I'm looking at. So, good. All right. So, the weather brought to you by Harold W. Collins and Grading. Call 434-392-6010. The birthday calendar brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors located at 1907 East 3rd Street, Farmville.
Creative Electrical Contractors specializes in commercial and industrial projects and offers quality work at competitive prices. CEC is a licensed Class A contractor in Virginia and North Carolina. Creative Electrical Contractors has been in business for 25 years, still committed to the values that were established when the company opened in 1998. Integrity, quality workmanship, and timely delivery. CEC, located at 1907 East 3rd Street, Farmville. You can contact CEC at 434-392-3802 or at creative-electrical.com.
And with those birthdays, possible anniversaries, for today, Tuesday, December 3rd, I present to you Noah Massage. Oh, where are you at?
There I am.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We got some birthdays for December 3rd. And starting off the list, we have Jane Crawley of Farmville. Also, Karen Hale Dye, Sophie Tacketts, and Drake McHenry. They are all celebrating birthdays today, so happy birthday to all those people. If you have a birthday that you want to reach out to us with, you can call in at 434-394-0924 or email us at birthdays@wflo.net. John, back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Noah. The birthday calendar brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors. If it is not right, we will make it right. Call 434-392-2802. Our phone lines, speaking of which, are open. And that number, again, you already mentioned it, 434-394-0924. I don't know if people are busy at work, busy shopping, whatever the case may be. Since you've done the local celebrity birthday, I guess we can do now the weird celebrity birthdays. And coming in at number 1 is rocker Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, wow.
Turned 76. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
What's that? Ozzy?
Jingle bells, jangle. Yeah, that would be a Christmas album of Ozzy, I would think.
It's like, it's weird. Okay, Ozzy's weird. And I'm saying this because I have an opinion on this.
Okay.
Let's
hear it.
Here's my thing.
All right.
There was one point in time where Ozzy was okay. He was never okay. Let me clear that up. But he would be able to talk and you would understand, and then one day, you just watch a video of him at his house, and he's like, "Where's my beer? Somebody stole my beer." And he's just a total disaster. And it's I don't know. But he's speaking how John was impersonating Ozzy. That's I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Who's impersonating? No. Sharon.
What happened to Ozzy? John.
What happened to Ozzy?
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
He hit a roadblock somewhere.
Yeah.
Ozzy, here's the fascinating thing I find about Ozzy. He can talk very incoherently and yet then sing perfectly when it's time to actually perform.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the studio or
anywhere.
On stage or whatever the case may be. So it's sort of like the Michael Jackson thing. When he talks like this, but then it's Shimon, and he gets all into it. Yeah. It's which one's the act? Is it
maybe there is no act, and that's just how
I think there's an act somewhere, and I think it could be the performing.
Well, when you're singing, you're using different muscles, right? And so it's
usually people sing kind of like the way they sound. It's not always this thing of that big of a jump. Maybe sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah. Here's John Staten singing Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Sorry.
What? What are you doing?
Because I was doing an impersonate because you said people, saying how they sound, and I was just doing an impression of you, John. My impressions are not great. I will fully admit that. They are not the greatest impressions in the world.
I'm just letting you.
John
just,
is sighing.
I'm just letting you go down.
You're just
down this.
you're just tapping out. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know who else is having a birthday today, John?
Who's that?
You're not going to believe it. Brendan Fraser of The Mummy.
We didn't do the fun fact on Ozzy.
Oh, we didn't do that.
Do you want to do it? Do you want me to do
No,
it?
no, you go for
He
it.
voiced the character Fawn in Sherlock Gnomes.
Mm.
I've never heard of that.
I never heard of that either. Guess he was tight for cash.
Tight for cash.
I don't know.
I wonder how long that session took.
Yeah.
All right, Ozzy, just say this.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
What? Sharon.
Yeah. It could have took 5 minutes or 5 years of Ozzy's life now. All right. And then who else is celebrating today?
Actress Daryl Hannah turned 64.
I'm looking at a different list, but I see some of these people on there.
Yeah.
And I don't have her fun fact.
Played a replicant named Priest or something in the original Blade Runner. That was that Harrison Ford sci-fi film from back in the 80s. Have you ever seen that before?
Yes. I've seen parts of it.
She was
really
the one
need
with
to.
the makeup and the blonde hair.
It's something that I've been meaning to watch.
The other big movie
through.
she had was with Tom Hanks back in the 80s. It was called Splash. She was like a mermaid, and he fell in love with her, kind of thing. I've never actually seen the whole film, but they were talking about it all the time. It was a big deal back then. I want to say John Candy may have even had a role in that film.
Interesting.
But I've never actually watched it. So who else do you see? I saw Brendan Fraser. He turns 56. He portrayed the character Sergeant Stone in G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Forgot about that.
Also in The Mummy, of course.
Yeah, and
classic.
When he was younger, he was in a movie where he was at an all-boys college, and I don't know if he was a football player, and it turned out it was this thing where once he was discovered to be Jewish, he was very frowned upon and all that. So I don't remember what the name of that movie was.
That's kind of what's happening here with you and me. You know, you discovered I was Jewish, and now...
You think that's what's happening?
Okay, that's... Yeah. What was the name of that movie? I've heard that before.
That's what I'm trying to remember.
I've heard about that before.
It escapes me. It's another film I've never really watched all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it. We didn't mention Julianne Moore, did we?
No.
64.
What a star. I love Julianne Moore. I think she's great.
List us some films you like.
Boogie Nights, of course. She was in Magnolia, and I'm just naming PTA films she was in. She was also in, I want to say, maybe Hard Eight, potentially. I'm trying. What movies have you seen her in, John?
Well, the first one you mentioned, Boogie Nights. You know, the first thing she ever did, that I am aware of, is
she got a late start in acting. I want to say, right?
Probably, but I was going to say the first thing I remember seeing her in, or reflecting on it more so than she had a bit role in The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. She was like this nurse or something that was in the hospital that he. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have, yeah.
All right, so she worked at the hospital when he kept going back and he was trying to pick up clues and discovering who the one-armed man might have been and all this other stuff. And he's dressed like not an orderly, but more like a janitor type thing or something. And she asked him to take this boy somewhere to get screened for he's having difficulty breathing. And he because he's an actual doctor, he has good guesses what is wrong, and he takes the boy somewhere else to be treated, and she discovers it that she told him to take him somewhere else, and that boy never arrived at the place she told him to take him, and so she holds him up for a minute, and like I said, it was just a bit role, but it was like one of the first things she ever did, to my knowledge. As far as other movies,
she was in The Big Lebowski as well,
which I've never seen.
You've never seen The Big
I've heard
Lebowski?
of it. Have you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Is she that a main role?
I didn't even know. I didn't even know she was in The Big Lebowski until I was scrolling through the credits her credits. So I don't think she had a huge role. It might have been just like a bartender or just like somebody. Yeah. So, but what? Let me see what other movies she was in. She was in the remake of Carrie. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
They didn't need a remake Carrie, though.
There's a lot of movies they don't need a remake.
Yeah.
I guess we ought to move along. Actress Tiffany
Yes.
Haddish turns 45. Do you know her?
No.
I've heard the name. Won a Primetime Emmy in 2018 for her appearance as host on an episode of SNL. Didn't know that was a thing. I'll let you do any more. We probably need to move along here.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll just name this one real fast. Lil Baby, Lil Baby, Lil Baby, is celebrating today. So that's pretty exciting. I think he's turning 30. John, do you remember when you turned the big 3-0?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving along. Oh, it looks like we might have a phone call. No.
Not sure what you're seeing.
Okay, I'm just like looking at.
I think
the
you're
phone.
dreaming.
Looking at the phone in the corner, John.
Okay.
But if you want to call in at 434-394-0924. That is the number to call in if you would like to talk to John and me. We'll be here till 9 o'clock, John.
Till 9.
Till 9, that's correct. John, how are you? I didn't even ask you this, but I've been meaning to. How are you enjoying the Christmas music so far? Because every time we've talked about Christmas music in December, you're like, it's going to be like you're gearing up to go.
I'm too busy to really sit back and listen. So that's the misconception that if you work at a radio station, you just sit there and listen to all the songs play over and over and over again.
Sure.
We got someone calling, but they're calling the wrong line.
I think they are calling the wrong line.
I mean, I can try, but I don't think... No, there's nobody here. So. They're calling the opposite line they should call. The number to call is 434-394-0924. If you would like to be a part of the program, Noah took off on me. 434-394-0924.
Yeah, John. I was just trying to... Oh, there we go. There we go. I was just working on making sure there's nothing loose.
All right, here we go. Good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, good morning, man.
Good morning. You know what number to call, right? So it couldn't have been you that was calling the wrong number.
I called I think 3 times. Yeah, in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Hey, have you noticed it ring?
No, it hasn't been blinking.
We must have had some issues with our phones.
There might have been a loose connection.
Could have been because we haven't seen the flash. We have a flashlight here that kind of goes off when we get a call, and I hadn't seen it go off until just now. Sorry about that.
My phone kept flashing up, cannot call, and I just pushed the button anyway.
Weird.
That is the Twilight Zone.
Yes, exactly like the Twilight Zone. Where's Rod Sterling when you need him?
I know. The Twilight Zone.
Named Noah.
Yeah.
That's not the best.
Can't do a comedian.
Yeah, can't do a comedian? What does that even mean, John? Holy
Can't be
God.
a comedian. You've entered the Noah Zone.
Oh, man.
Yeah. How are you enjoying the episode so far, Colin?
The episode?
Oh, Lord. There we go. I was hearing me talk in the background, and it sounds horrible.
Oh, man. Nothing like hearing the sound of your own voice. That's a bummer. That is a bummer for anybody.
Really? Even
except for
those
John
have,
Staten.
Those
No, I'm
have
kidding.
nice voices.
I'm
Good
sorry.
Professional voice. But you guys were talking about Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
And the Big Lebowski, she did a full nudity.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how I could forget that then. Eesh. That's insane. Wow.
Did you see it?
I did see the Big Lebowski.
He forgot that part for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh.
Must have not had a big impact on you.
I guess not.
No, she was kind of swinging through the studio doing painting.
Oh.
But
wow.
Now, what was that movie about? Is that the one with Jeff Bridges?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He plays the dude.
Yes,
He plays the dude?
Yeah. Who's the one? What was the one with Roseanne? He played a big role.
Tom Arnold.
Roseanne's husband.
Yes.
Tom Arnold was in that too.
No. He played in
oh, you mean Goodman? John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the real thin guy with the bad teeth. Sugar. Do you know who I'm talking about? Kinda.
Yes, I'm bad with names as well, so
yes,
terrible with that.
But he has the bad teeth, and he's just he's a good character. He plays a.
It's not Sam Elliott.
Plays a good role.
Sam Elliott was in it?
Sam Elliott was in it.
No.
I'm not in that film. I'm in Roadhouse. I'm also.
Oh, he was in that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
Who was in? What?
Sam Elliott was in, and also Roadhouse.
I was in a lot of films. Yeah. I was in this film with Cher called The Mask. You remember that? The kid had a deformed face, and I was like a motorcycle guy. But I was soft-hearted as well. I thought he was.
That reminds me.
That was a sad movie, but he was cool. He was a cool character in that. But go ahead. What does it remind you of?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
No, nothing.
You said you were going to something. It reminded you of something.
Oh, yes, it reminded. We had some a couple of people that had stopped over. They were out of town, and they were on the older side, so they were just viewing the local paper. And I guess at one point it became the word retarded became a not a correct word to say. Mm-hmm. So she was reading the papers, and it was you know how they do with the flashback 50 years ago or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's reading it, and she says, you know, I didn't know they were allowed to say this word, or retarded, or print it. And I say, it's probably not in the papers. You're probably reading something wrong. So I go and look, and she was reading the area from 50 years ago, and I guess they had, I don't know, something about them. They were opening up something. So
interesting. Just casually writing that in the paper back in the day, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. Different times. For sure.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. I think, like whenever that became like a problem, back in 2008, 2009, 2010, like around the 2010s, I know they went to, like, people would, like, say in school, like, they would hold meetings and stuff, and they would be like, guys, you can't say the R word. It's just not appropriate language, blah, blah, blah. And I've heard stories about, like, people who, like, went to different high schools and that, like, and how they had to deal with, like, kids using that word. It's, like, interesting. I don't know. John, do you think it's what do you think about the word?
I don't.
You look like you have, like, an opinion on it.
What, just to say it?
Just to say it, yeah.
I don't say it much.
Mm-hmm.
I usually say special or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt had a slight, that had that, and so I didn't go around saying that. Mm-hmm. I guess it's different when you have someone of that has that in your family.
True.
But you don't look at them in any different way.
No. Still family.
Yeah, it's just like you treat them like anybody else.
And how would you describe Joe Biden's policies, John? Sorry.
Idiotic. I mean,
I thought I threw that. I thought I would do a bait and switch on John.
You mean like the last thing he just pulled?
Yeah, sure, that too.
That
the pardoning of his son.
I won't do that. I won't do. It sounds like Clinton when he says it. But anyway, and he turns around and does it anyway. So he's a real trusting soul.
Well, like guy. I said, John,
he's a wonderful man.
If Trump in his last term could pump in two
You can't say anything now. Your guy is
okay, I'm
full
sorry.
Of ha-ha.
Well, actually, that's not true. I
don't want to go down this political road. Never discuss religion, politics, or the Great Pumpkin.
True. That is
never. Never.
That is true, John.
I don't want to hear the Great Pumpkin out of your mouth ever again.
I won't talk about the Great Pumpkin. Yes.
So do you have any... go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you had something you were going to say.
Yes, with the Biden thing, and then I'm going to stop. I think what is funny is that he gave him like a 10-year pardon.
Yeah.
Anything that happens between this date and that date. I mean, can you imagine just like Now, is that going to be the norm? As soon as you're a politician, as soon as your son is born, I'm going to pardon him until death. Do whatever you want, son.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had those thoughts back then, but maybe so. I don't know. It just goes to show that, people can say and present themselves a certain way, but when it comes right down to it, they're looking out for themselves and their family or whatever the case may be, and you can make yourself sound like you're this I'm above all that and all this other stuff, but until something happens, that's when you'll see what someone's true colors are and that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm not judging it. I mean, whatever. But I do think it speaks to character in the way people act, or the way they maybe not so much act, but what they decide to do and the things they choose to do and all this. So, you can say a bunch of things. I'm not going to do this. I won't do this, and then turn around and do it. And it's like, well, what was the act there? Was the act you saying you weren't, or then you turn around and do it? But like I said, I don't. Why go down this slippery slope?
Slippery slope.
It's a very slippery slope. All I care about is stuff like this.
Does your cat by any chance eat Jell-O?
I don't know about the cat, but I sure am enjoying it.
Does Jeff the cat like Jell-O? Yeah. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people actually want to know that, Jeff.
Well, I think we should do a whole episode around Jeff the cat, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that would be fun.
So
would you want to interview him?
Sure. We could have a lengthy conversation.
Okay.
But anyway, I was going to ask the caller something. I know you like to cook and prepare stuff. Or you got any Christmas specialties you do this time of year?
No, I kind of have just discovered the jelly log, but I don't put jelly in the middle. That's kind of fun. But I always do a pumpkin pie. And today I'm going to experiment with a... you familiar with a pecan pie?
Yeah. Are you pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
Okay. Go ahead.
I know. You know who Ina is, the cook, the chef, the personality.
Right.
Ina Garden. Well, she had commented that she likes to do salted mixed nuts instead of pecans.
Mm.
So I'm going to try that today. And then
Never tried it before. Okay.
No, sir. No, I have some friends that I give this stuff out to, and it keeps me cooking.
Okay.
Baking, and and then I'm going to try it with a candied all of those things.
Interesting.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, good luck.
It might be just a waste of money.
Well, you don't know until you try, right?
Well, yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Don't know till you try.
Have you come across something that you hadn't tried before and turned out to be really good?
Yeah, so right off the top of my brain, it would be a challenge to say it. When you're on the spot, you can't say anything. Like there's... Oh,
I know how that works.
Yeah, so even when you used to do the little, like, quiz each other during the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, oh, my gosh, I would be like, oh, please don't make me look stupid.
Well, as long as the subject is something I know, I don't sweat it too much. But if you're going to start asking me real difficult stuff, it's going to be kind of one of those dead air kind of things, just crickets.
Oh, so you can do quick response answers then?
If it's something I'm knowledgeable about.
Okay.
It's basically useless trivia like music, 80s music, something like that. Or 80s movies or 80s TV shows. That stuff I can pretty much knock out of the park for the most part. But outside of that, if it's meaningful in any way, it might be a bit boring for the listening audience. Might be boring anyway. I don't know.
Yes, it is. Out here, we have a group of friends that we meet every morning for coffee, and yeah.
It's okay.
You're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem.
They were thinking of Noah when they said that.
Yeah, that's right.
You were talking about the Christmas shows.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a Wonderful Life, man. That's such a classic. I know it's not a whole lot about Christmas.
No, but it's enough. It's enough that The interesting thing about that movie was when it was released, it wasn't a big hit, and it's become
That's right. Yes,
it's become this sort of cult phenomenon, and but the reason it became a cult phenomenon, I want to say it was something as simple as the copyright probably had worn out on it. So the TV stations at the time looking for something, anything to run to take up time. I don't even think it was that. I just think, oh, here's this movie that's no longer, we can just run it and not have to pay for it and all this other stuff. We'll just run this and it'll take up time and that'll help with the programming. And so they run it and it turns into this...
Families across America.
Yeah, it turns into this thing.
Hooked to this movie. And Jimmy Stewart's performance.
Mary,
we got a Christmas tree.
I still always harken back to SNL when Dana Carvey was playing Jimmy Stewart, and they did the ending that it should have ended, where they go after Potter at the end.
Yeah.
Come on, Mary, we're going to kick Potters, you know what. Come on, Mary. And they bust the door open, and they go after Potter.
Yes, he's walking around because he's been lying to everybody about his wheelchair issue.
Right. I don't know I don't remember who was playing Potter. It could have been John Lovitz. I don't remember who it was now, but I thought that was a funny skit. Yeah. I remember when I showed it to my dad never watched it, and I think I showed it to him. And his thing was he had wished that Potter had a change of heart and gave the money back. At the end, when everybody comes in to give the money, he thought it would have been a really great ending at Potter.
Back,
but there's just no... I mean, that's
not
not his character.
Old man. Yeah, exactly. Come on. It's just who he is. My favorite scene in that movie is when the money gets lost by the accountant.
Uncle Billy.
Uncle Billy loses the money. It's like, I don't know where it went, Jimmy. Jimmy Stewart goes back to his home and they're like setting up the Christmas tree and the daughter's playing and Jimmy Stewart's like, "Will you just shut up? Will you just stop playing that?"
That's a liner we have.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
that's the best line in the movie. Yeah, okay.
That's your favorite line in the movie?
That's one of my favorites. I don't know, that whole scene of Jimmy Stewart coming home and just being just like livid.
You play it over and over again.
Yeah.
No, stop it.
Yes.
You mean? I think you mean this line
I'm
right
pretty
here.
sure I mean that line.
Play it over and over again. Now stop it.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, because I feel like that's how every father feels around the Christmas time. The season. It's just a lot. Then just.
You know what my second favorite line is in that movie?
I need a couple of good stiff drinks. How about you, Angel? You want a drink?
That's my other favorite line in that movie.
That's too good.
Yeah. It is. Go ahead.
Yeah. How did he end up with such a hottie, too?
Oh, yeah. Well, he did. He did. And yet he was fighting it the whole time, it seemed like, until he...
Yeah.
Until he didn't. And then... Yeah. But when they have that scene where they're walking and they're singing "By the Light of the Moon" and all that stuff, the old man that's in the rocking chair that goes, "Why don't you kiss her?" and all that sort of stuff. You know who that old guy was? He was the original mayor on Andy Griffith.
Wow.
The first few seasons. He was the mayor
of... really?
Yeah, he was the mayor of Mayberry. Yeah, you go back and watch the old Andy Griffith episodes, the first few seasons, however long it was. Yeah, he was the mayor.
Huh.
Yeah, because I watched Andy Griffith obviously first before I ever watched It's a Wonderful Life. So when I watched It's a Wonderful Life, and I could
instantly recognize.
Well, he talks the same. He has the same voice, and he obviously looks the same pretty much. And I was like, oh, that's the mayor from Mayberry. But anyway, we got to go.
We got to run.
Thank you for calling, caller, and have a great rest of your day. Call back anytime. All right.
Thanks for your time, man.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.
I did really want to quickly mention, John, FarmvilleNow.com. If you want to check out events happening in the area or in and around the Farmville area within a 35-mile radius, that is the place to go. And also, I did want to mention there is a Santa Pancake Brunch happening at the Woodland Center on December 7th from 8 a.m. to 10 or 11 a.m. And it should be pretty fun. I think the adults are $10 and kids between 5 and 10 are $5, and then kids under 5 enter for free. So it's just a very good event, and should be pretty fun. And I'm actually planning on making it out there. So
all right,
check it out.
All right, thanks. Bye.
WFLO AM 870 Farmville.